here at 12 Hummingbirds, and the insights keep coming. We are alive at 3 a.m. from Paute, Ecuador. So, wakey, wakey, wakey.
Oh, indeed, wakey. And Hank and I are so grateful that you are here right now, because it's true. Here at 12 Hummingbirds, things have just been coming forward every day with such propensity and such depth that it brings us into this moment of expanding consciousness. And we are grateful to welcome you here today. I am Kira.
I am Hank.
And we are truly honored to share this journey with you, because today we're continuing in our series, and hopefully you tuned in last week. And if not, please do your best to go catch up with all of this series, because today is number 5. And not only is the energy of the number 5 in our ascended numerological sequence eternal life, the embodiment of eternal life is the number 5, but what more important than in our embodiment than to gaze within, to learn how to gaze within with that eternal smile of conscious awareness. And so how do we do that? Well, this series has been assisting us to learn that. And today, this series brings us to thoughts. I want you to think about that, the big T.
The beauty in this series is that these shows touch on the spiritual and humanistic lives we are living.
Ooh, it's so true. You know, the spiritual and the humanistic lives that we are living. I mean, Hank, that's so eloquent. Thank you. Because what that really is also, and you can feel my enthusiasm, this is the foundation of our upcoming multi-day retreat that Hank and I are so excited and honored to offer right here at 12 Hummingbirds. And I think most of you know that 12 Hummingbirds is truly a 25-acre paradise. It consists of Incan, pre-Incan, Cañari cultures, all verified, and all of them held this land sacred, as do Hank and I. And they dedicated temples in honor of their deities here, and these sacred sites still exist here today, including the caves. And these are incredible caves. Everything is still in use by the indigenous, and of course our border, the border of our property, is the original Incan trail, plus we have an Incan canal running through it as well. So nurturing water, nurturing lives, nurturing, I'm going to go back to what Hank said so brilliantly earlier, our spiritual and humanistic lives that we are living. This is a profound moment for our thoughts that we're going to be discussing today, and for how we're going to be living and working with those. So Hank, talk to me more about that.
Our retreats here focus on the yoga of self-ascension, with our next retreat beginning July 31st through August 7, 2026, entitled The Opening, Creating the Pathway Forward. Our series and programs within focus on understanding what self-ascension truly means, what the foundations are, and the step one undertakes toward achieving self-ascension. Kira and I offer this pathway forward in Series 1 with the intention of sharing insights, as it is through this following unpretentious formula that one can achieve the state of conscious awareness. Presence, awareness, intention, transformation. It begins with being present. Presence leads to awareness. Awareness can guide one to intention. Your intention opens the gateway, illuminating the ability to choose, to transform, and transcend.
I just want to breathe in on that, Hank. Thank you for sharing that, because I really want to underscore what Hank just ended with, illuminating the ability to choose. Illuminating the ability to choose. Imagine the freedom. Imagine what happens when we gift ourselves with the opportunity of choice. Because what that means is that our thoughts, right? That's what we're really looking at today, are our thoughts. What that means is that our thoughts are transforming, that our thoughts are moving, that we are transcending. When we illuminate our ability to choose, to transform and transcend, right? It brings us to a new level of being, a new level of seeing. Because what's happened, and I have to go back to it, is that it really follows that beautiful formula, beginning with presence, right? So we begin with our mastery presence. Well, mastery presence is a freedom. It's a freedom from the cycle of victim consciousness, right? So it frees us from that need to see everything in the aspect of a victim, a rescuer, and an abuser. It frees us. And so when that presence enters, what is it doing? It's saying, I feel safe in the world. It's saying, I feel peace. I feel peace in the knowing that I've got this, right? And this is important to understand. This is really important to understand, because what happens is that it brings us into a state of illumination through presence, awareness, right? That conscious awareness that brings us into that intention, which Hank just said, opens the gateway, illuminating the ability to choose to transform and transcend, which is the gift we give ourselves. And so it brings me down to the ultimate question, especially in today's show, and I'm going to have to bounce this one right back to Hank, which is, so given all of that, what is a thought?
What is a thought? A thought is just a thought. Thoughts do not define us. They are just thoughts. Thoughts are not who we are. We are that we are. I am, you are, we are. The story we tell ourselves, the stories we tell another, the thoughts we spin, the thoughts swirling around our head are just thoughts. At their root, they are just words. We choose what meaning we apply to our thoughts, to our words. They only carry weight if we allow them to. One has the power to attach as much or as little meaning to a thought or a word as we so choose. Remember, a thought is just a thought. That is all. The same applies to the stories we tell another, as they are just stories. Free your mind. Remember, a story is just a story, nothing more. One chooses to give it power. The story does not have power on its own. One's thoughts, one's stories are self-generated. They only carry the weight one empowers it.
So true.
Be free. Feel into your power, for we are all powerful beings. Experience one's beauty, one's light. Rejoice in the human experience and express. Be free to be. Be all that one is.
So I see you, I hope you see me, I hope you see Hank, hands to heart. And as you bring your hand to your heart right now, I want you to just really feel what you're feeling. Notice what you're noticing. Taking in that beautiful, let's go in on an Ave Saw breath, going in on Ave. Exhaling. And really igniting your heart. Being free to be, right? Because it brings us beyond the thought. It brings us to the word. And so, Hank, please continue.
A word is just a word. It's a sound, one that either resonates with you in one way or another or doesn't. The word only has the meaning we attach to it. Let me share an experience that may bring this a little closer to home. I've traveled extensively throughout the world, living with indigenous tribes, photographing them, documenting these unique environments all over. And in one experience in Papua New Guinea, as an example, the word chair, like the escalator, a pool, a vacuum cleaner, well, now that's something else. Outside the developing and Western world, in the indigenous, the word chair has no meaning. The indigenous only relate to sitting, whether it's on the ground, on a branch, or squatting. In space and time of the void, the no, N-O, does not exist. And yet, the no, K-N-O-W, exists. In this dimension, there is no thought, no breath, no time, and yet there is the no. There has always been the no, for it is the no that we have chosen to come to earth. It is why we have chosen to come in body, to experience what it is to be human and to share what humans call the awarenesses, teachings, and the lessons. And for humans to do with as they so choose. This is what can be called the known. Some of us, though the us does not exist, chose to come to Earth to experience what it is to be human, to embody the pleasures, the pain that one experiences as a human, the joy, the sadness, the hate, the caring, the taking, the sharing, the giving, the food, the sex, the beauty, and, of course, the love. At an earlier time, beginning at the dawn, the creation of life here on earth began. With life at that time, there was a synchronicity, a mutual coexistence, symbiotic relationships, a place where plants and other forms of life thrived. After the cataclysmic asteroid struck, ending the Mesozoic era and the reign of the dinosaurs, photosynthesis ended. This resulted in 75% of all species being wiped out. It is from that point there was a rebirth, and life began as we know it. Pre-human and human evolution coexist through mutualism, where both species benefit, through commensalism, where one species benefit, the other remain neutral, and through parasitism, where one species benefits, the other harmed. Throughout human progression, the world has lost significant aspects of our humanness. We have forgotten what it is to be human. More profoundly, we no longer remember what it is to be human. Near the beginning, there was a morphing in mankind, as some chose to seek another path, a path of greed, a path of hate, a path of power. These are the takers. Sadly, it is the takers that have far and away taken over the givers. Through sheer numbers alone and through self-obsession, the human experience has darkened. With life as Neanderthal, we worked together as a clan. We were the givers, a term so profoundly described by Daniel Quinn in his book Ishmael. The givers are those that share communal-based living, coexisting in ways that are mutually beneficial. The takers, the ones that are primarily self-focused, are what many have become. Though the givers still exist today, in the indigenous and through us as conscious beings, the takers have proliferated on an explosive scale. Look around. Understand what has taken place over the last 500 years, in just the last 150 years, and what exists here, and what exists in the here and now. Together, we explored this aspect in our first program in the series entitled The Forgotten. As Kira shared with us earlier in this series, we focused on the I. It deals with the understanding of self through presence and awareness. Give yourself the gift to experience, the freedom to be. Let us all experience the gift of freedom to be. Dive deep, soar high in the knowing. One does not need to become. One is. You are, I am. I am, you are, as one. Consider embodying this awareness, this insight. Feel into where it leads. Be present. Be curious. Express. As gifted in a previous share, there are 4 simple steps that can lead one to self-ascension. The first begins with being present. Presence leads to awareness. Awareness can guide one to intention. Your intention has the opportunity to transform, ultimately, or better yet in this moment, transcend. If this share, this insight, this awareness resonates with you, embody it, express it, consider sharing it with another, for this is the gift. This is deeply experiencing our humanness. Kindness, caring, compassionate, understanding, loving, sharing, giving, receiving. The list goes on and on and on. It is not that we of humans haven't learned. It is that we of humans have forgotten. Forgotten our humanity, forgotten what it means to be human.
Wow, Hank, thank you. Thank you. I'm like breathing that in. I'm breathing in the totality of everything you just shared. And that's something that I'm inviting all of you to do as well, is to really breathe that in. And I want to bring us back to this moment. I want to invite you right now to notice what has your attention out there. I mean, you're listening to this journey, you're tuning into Hank and I, and I'm very, very grateful for that. We are both so grateful that you are here. And in that, it brings in those 4 key points. And I just want to bring that through because today we're talking about our thoughts. We're talking about how to really transform, how to really pay attention. And as the wheel of consciousness spins, we stand in our physical form, we move into emotional body, but then there comes the mental body, those thoughts. And they try to control, and they stand at that 6 o'clock hour saying, I've got this, right? At the end of the day, you can count on me. I'm a thought. Yet the thought is the ultimate distraction from our presence. And this is the gift. And I want to go back to something that Hank said, and I want to tie it into the mantra of self-ascension, because what is the mantra of self-ascension? Well, it's a non-dogmatic way to center myself, right? I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. It is completely outside of the self and completely aware of the eternal. Well, let's look at those 4 steps. What is the first simple step, right? What did Hank just talk about? Being present. Being present. Experiencing, deeply experiencing our humanness. All of those beautiful things we're here to experience, and Hank was talking about all of those earlier, and you're going to want to go back and, wait a minute, did I hear that, Kira? Yeah, you did. So listen again. Really, maybe write it down. Pay attention, because it's that deep experience of our humanness from the ascended center of conscious awareness, where every single thing is a thank you. Where when you may be in a moment of complete distraught, when you may be in a moment of the seeds of self-sabotage, fear, doubt, and hesitancy, when any of that is there, you're able to lift above it and say, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to see. Thank you for being the greatest teacher. Thank you for all of it, for deeply experiencing humanness. And it begins with presence, that present moment, right? And so that is the I am here. Consider that. I am, and really call yourself here. Everything becomes still. You're right in the center. I am here. Presence. It stops all the chatter, right? The thoughts stop.
I am whole. I am here. I am whole. I am complete. As are you.
Exactly. So you begin there. And then what's the next step? I am here. I am whole. I am complete. As are you is the embodiment of I am here that moves you to I am ready. And that's the awareness. And so in the I am ready, we are aware. And in that awareness, we are able to see ourselves beyond the ego. I am here. I am ready. Brings us to what? Intention. I am open. To be open is to transcend the need to have to think it through. It is a trust. It is a self-trust. I am here. I am ready. I am open. Presence, awareness, intention. And finally, a humble bow. Guide me. That comes from the receptivity and the recognition and the remembrance that I am, you are, we are. Guide me as I would guide myself. Is that not the greatest transformation? Kindness, caring, compassionate, understanding, loving, sharing, giving, receiving, that list that Hank gave that goes on and on and on. It's time for us to remember. It's time for us to know. And this is something that Hank and I have been living and embodying here at 12 Hummingbirds with the restoration that's happening here at the Hacienda as we claim this center and bring it forward on behalf of ourselves and all of you. And so, Hank, I'm really inviting you to share about that experience of the sacredness and where we are.
We invite you to join us here at our home at 12 Hummingbirds, situated on 25 acres of sacred Inca property in the Andes Mountains, to share in a profound journey together and experience in our upcoming retreat, The Opening, Creating the Pathway Forward, July 31st through August 7th, 2026. In this journey of self-reflection, we will share together in a profound experience focused on the I, a deep dive into those aspects of oneself that are restrictive. Release the feelings of inadequacy that many feel and the non-truths that hold one back from experiencing the true I, that beautiful being one is. It is through the gift and awakening that one has the opportunity to realize self-ascension. Remember, it is not that we as humans haven't learned from past experiences. It is that we have truly forgotten what it is to be human, forgotten what humanity is all about. Through conscious practices, we can make a difference. Follow your heart. Be aware of where it leads and express. Namaste.
Namaste. See you next week.
And thank you all.
We love you.